incomplete dominance. Okay, as the name suggests, there is incomplete dominance. The dominance which was seen in the monohybrid cross will not be seen here. Okay, so when Mendel did the experiments on pea plant, he was getting similar results for every character, but when he took other plant, okay, there was some difference and he observed incomplete dominance in other plants. Okay, so the examples of these plants were, one was dog flower, other was snapdragon, or we can call its scientific name as antirrhenium. Okay, okay, how you have to learn that? Okay, ANTI, you have to keep in mind that it is double R here. Okay, okay, he and num, antirrhenium species, U and M. Okay, so in this plant he saw a specific other mechanism which he called as incomplete dominance. Okay, so what he saw here, he took two plants where he observed the flower color. So this was for the red color and this was for the white color. So these are the parents. Now what will be the next step? The next step will be the formation of gametes. So here it will be capital R, here it will be small r and small r. These are the gametes. Now if in F1 generation the combination will be like this, as we did in the monohybrid cross for tallness and dwarfness. So the F1 plants were capital R, small r, capital R, small r, capital R, small r, and capital R, small r. So according to the law of dominance, this R, which is the dominant trait, should, the R which we are assuming is a dominant trait, should completely dominate the white color. And what result we should get here? We should get all the flower which are red. But to his surprise, the flowers which we got in F1 generation were pink. Okay, so all flower were pink. It were not red and it were not white also. Okay, no red, no white. So now he did the second thing, that is the selfing. So he took any two plants here from this F1 generation and he crossed these plants. So these are the parents. These are the parents. Again you will obtain the gametes. And these are the gametes, and again you'll mix them. They will produce, they will combine here with this, that is the capital R, F2 generation. Again this will combine with this capital R, small r, capital R, small r. Okay, this is this one is this. Now this will combine with this will combine with this, that is capital R, small r, and finally we get small r, small. So he got a result, or he got a phenotype in which one flower was red, two flowers were pink, and one was white. So the genotype here was 1:2:1, and phenotype was 1:2:1. Okay, so we can say that in incomplete dominance you will see the same genotype and same phenotype, that is 1:2:1 and 1:2:1. Okay, phenotype because one was red, two were pink and one were white. While we talk about the monohybrid cross for tallness and dwarfness in pea plant, we got here genotype as 1:2:1, but the phenotype were 3 were tall and 1 were dwarf. But here we got a red flower, we got 2 pink flower, and we got a white flower. So here it was seen that the R, which is to be the dominant trait, which we assume was a dominant trait, was not completely able to mask the character of this small r. Okay, so this express itself and this also express itself to a certain extent, and what we got a mixture of this, that is the pink color. So this was termed as incomplete dominance because the capital R or the red color was not able to dominate the small r, that is the white color, completely. So this was incomplete dominance. Here you were not able to see the complete dominance as the law of dominance suggested by Mendel. Okay, here you saw what? It was incomplete dominance. Okay, now how the law of dominance work? Okay, how we can say that one character is dominant and one character is recessive? As we know that we are diploid organisms. Okay, so we definitely will need a set of allele to express a particular character. Okay, so this capital T, if we talk about, is able to produce an enzyme which gives tallness to the plant. But the other allele, which is the small t, produces a less efficient enzyme okay, or no enzyme, or a dysfunctional enzyme. Okay, so the difference is here that the gene which was responsible for tallness, certain mutation occurred in that gene, and now its copy, that is the small t, is either not able to produce enzyme that is required for tallness, proper tallness of the plant, or it is producing an enzyme which is less efficient, so will not get a proper tall plant, or it is producing a dysfunctional enzyme which will not be able to produce a tall plant. Okay, so when these come in together, like the capital T and small t in one organism, this is able to produce enzyme, but this is not able to produce enzyme, but we have a allele which is able to produce enzyme, so we'll get a tall plant. Now in this condition, both of these are efficient, so we'll get a tall plant. Now the third condition was this. Now here the small t is not able to produce enzyme, and this small t is also not able to produce enzyme, so we'll get what? We'll get a dwarf plant. So this is the law of dominance, as the other trait or the other character, that is dwarfness, that particular height is a particular character, and dwarfness or tallness are the two traits. Okay, so other trait, that is the dwarf, is formed because there was some change in the capital T and it became small t, and this small t is not properly functional to produce a tall plant. So it can produce a less efficient enzyme, a dysfunctional enzyme, or no enzyme at all. Okay, if there is mutation and it is able to produce a normal enzyme, then we'll get the tall plant. Okay. So this is the way in which the law of dominance works. And in incomplete dominance, we saw what? We saw a particular plant, that is dog flower or snapdragon, in which we were able to see a pink color in the F1 generation. That was the intermediate between the red and the white color. Okay. So there was mixing of both the character, because the capital R was not able to completely dominate the small r, and both of them express themselves. So here the genotype and the phenotypic ratio was same. So in exam a question can be asked as to in which you are able to see the genotype and phenotype as same. Okay, in which cross or in which phenomenon the genotype and the phenotype is same. So you have to explain this incomplete dominance. Okay, so this is incomplete dominance in dog flower and snap. Co-dominance. Okay, so in when we saw F1, it resembled either of the two parents. Okay, that was dominance. Okay, that is the tall plant was seen in the F1 generation when we did the monohybrid cross with taking plants that were tall and dwarf. Okay, or in between, that is the incomplete dominance, as we saw in snapdragon, that the plant which we obtained in the F1 generation were pink, that is it was an intermediate between the two plants. So we saw what? We saw dominance and we also saw incomplete dominance. But in the case of co-dominance, the F1 generation will resemble both the parent. Okay, I repeat myself. But in the case of co-dominance, the F1 generation will resemble both the parents, and the best example for co-dominance is ABO blood grouping. Okay, you can say ABO grouping. For this, certain points you have to remember. Like this ABO blood groups are controlled by gene I in humans. ABO blood groups are controlled by a particular gene, that is I. Okay, now this particular gene I has 3 alleles, has 3 variants. Okay, this gene has 3 alleles. One is IA, one is IB, and one is small I. Okay, so this is having what? This is having 3 alleles. Okay, these are the 3 alleles, that is IA, IB, and small I. We are talking about what? We are talking about co-dominance, and in co-dominance we are talking about the ABO blood grouping, because that is the best example for co-dominance. Here we'll see, what we'll see that both of the parental characteristics will be expressed in the organism. It will not be like that. Either of the parental type will be expressed, that was in dominance, or mixing or in between character will be there, that was in incomplete dominance. So ABO blood groups are coded with the help of I gene. I gene is something which codes for a particular trait, okay, particular character. Now this I gene has 3 variants or 3 alleles, which is IA, IB, and small I. Okay. Now the alleles IA and IB produce a slightly different form of sugar, while allele I does not produce any sugar. Okay, this IA and IB will form slightly different sugar polymers, sugar polymers, and this does not produce these sugar polymers. Now where these sugar polymers are present, suppose this is the RBC. So these RBCs will have certain type of polymers, sugar polymers. For a particular human, it can be IA, okay, or IB, and the humans which do not have these sugar polymers, there will be these sugar polymers will not be present. Okay, so IA and IB will produce what? Will produce slightly different sugar polymers, and these sugar polymers are present where? They are present on the RBC. Now I does not produce any sugar, okay, this will not produce any sugar. Now as we know that we are diploid organisms, and for I gene we are having 3 alleles, any 2 will be required for this diploid organism. Okay, you got my point? As we are diploid organism, any 2 will be required for the expression of this blood group. Okay, now this IA and IB are the dominant trait. Okay, IA and IB are dominant, and the small I is recessive. Now when IA and I will be present, when IB and I will be present, we can say that as this is recessive, small I is recessive, so we'll get a blood group which is A and we get a blood group which is B. But when IA and IB are present, we'll get a blood group that is AB. So here codominance will be seen, and both of the dominant gene will express itself, and we'll get both of these in the blood group, that is AB blood group. So AB blood group have the gene IA as well as IB, and as both of them are dominant, they both will express themselves, and that's why the law is given, that is codominance. They both will do what? A codominance. Okay. So now we'll draw a chart in which we'll see the particular what will be the blood group. Okay. Now suppose this is, okay, this is what? This is allele from parent, this is allele from other parent, this is parent A and this is parent B. Okay, this will be the combination and this will be the expression. So if parent allele from parent is IA, okay, and allele from parent is also IA, then we'll get what? We'll get a combination, that is IA and IA. So the blood group will be A, as both are dominant, and you'll have what? A blood group. Now we'll have a combination, that is IA, and suppose here there is presence of IB, so we'll get a combination, that is IA and IB, so we'll get AB blood group. Now we again have this probability that IA and small I will be present. Okay, so here we'll get what? Here we'll get IA and small I, and this will be A blood group. Now when we come to B type, okay, so this is for A, now we'll have for B. So IB, now this will be IB, and we'll get what? IB and IB, and we'll get what? B blood group. IB and okay, we'll get here IA. So the blood group will be IB, IA, that is the AB blood group, and again IB and small I. So this will be IB and small I, so it will be B. Okay, now the third one will be with the small I. Now when it's small I will combine with IA. So the blood type will be IA and I, that is A blood group. Small I will combine with IB, that is IB and I, that is the B blood group, and it will be small I and small I. Here it will be small I, and the blood group will be O. Okay, so these are the blood group, that is A blood group, B blood group, AB blood group, and O blood group. So O will be the DOF characteristics. Okay, sorry, O will be the recessive characteristics, where you will see that there is no expression of any sugar on the RBC. Okay, that's why O is called as the universal donor, because it's not having any antigen which will go in the bloodstream of other person and will cause an immunity reaction. Okay, so this will be the possible genotypes and their expression. Okay, so the blood groups we finally get are A, B, AB and O type. So you see here, when IA and IB were present, we got AB blood group, that is codominance. They both are expressing themselves. Okay, nobody is recessive or nobody is dominant here. But when here you saw IA and I, this I was not able to express itself. Okay, so we got the blood group A. Now here also, when it was IB and IA, the blood group we got was AB. So it is codominance. So these are the probability of the blood group, and you can say that if the blood group of a parent is A and the blood group of the other parent is B, okay, so we'll get you can get an combination, that is the AB. Okay, the child can have a AB blood group. So what we learned here, that in codominance ABO blood grouping is the main. Okay, now ABO blood groups are coded with gene I, and this gene has 3 alleles, that is IA, IB and small I. Okay, now IA and IB produce sugar polymers. IB and IA and IB will produce slightly different form of sugar polymers, and I does not produce any sugar polymer. Okay, so IA and IB both are the dominant trait and I is the recessive. Now as IA and IB are the dominant trait, when these IA and IB will be present together, they will show codominance. That is, these both will express themselves, and we see a probability. So finally we get what? A, B, AB and O blood group. So O will have what? O blood group people will have what? Small I and small I in their genotype, and there is no production of sugar polymers on them. Okay, and AB is a universal donor, because universal acceptor, because AB blood group is a universal acceptor because in its blood type it is having both the sugar polymers, that is of A type and B type. Okay, so it can take blood from anybody. There will be no antigenic reaction in its body. And similarly, O is a universal donor because there is no presence of these sugar polymers which generally act as antigens, so it can give blood to anybody. Okay, most specifically if we say that nowadays O negative is a universal donor because it is not having that rhesus factor, and AB negative is a universal acceptor. Okay, so this was all about codominance, and it's seen in ABO blood grouping in humans. Okay.